I'm Alex Hayden, welcoming you to the Irish Hills of Michigan for the Firekeepers Casino 400. This race is a huge priority for all of the manufacturers, especially Ford and Chevrolet, given that we're about an hour away from Detroit. This wide track allows for multi-groove racing, but horsepower and draft are key.
That's a sweet looking trophy.
Now, let's head trackside where the drivers and teams are getting ready. It's time for the command.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are live tonight once again for NASCAR 21 Ignition action on the channel. It is the second to last race of the regular season on our final season of this game as we head to my home track, the Michigan International Speedway. It's the Firekeepers Casino 400. 400 miles, 200 laps are on this 2-mile tri-oval racetrack this evening. And we have a very interesting battle right now for the regular season point standings. Now, Joey Logano was able to extend his lead after a third-place finish last night at the Indianapolis Road Course. Had some stage points in both stages as well, which helped him along the way. And Joey Logano comes in with a 71-point lead over Chase Elliott, who jumped up 3 spots in the standings yesterday after winning a stage and going on to win the race, his second race win of the season. He'll be trying to go back-to-back tonight. Our driver, Ryan Blaney, lost a spot in the regular season standings, falling from 8th to 9th. As you see on the top of the screen, obviously 166 out of first. He cannot win the regular season title, but he is only 7 points behind Tyler Reddick for 8th, and he is within striking distance, realistically, of about 3rd or 4th place in these final 2 races if he has a lot of points in both stages in both the races and gets a good finish. And obviously probably going to need a little bit of help along the way as well. We'll see what he can do. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get into tonight's full race live stream. Realistic commentary as usual, whether it is a video game side during the week or the real races on the race weekend. Take a look at today's starting lineup. Kevin Harvick will be on the pole. Going into last season's race, he would have won 3 straight August Michigan races. We'll see if he can get another one today. He'll be looking for his 3rd win of the season. Martin Truex Jr. has 1 win this year and is locked into the playoffs, but is just outside the top 10 in the regular season standings. He has a shot to move ahead. And the guy he is trying to chase for 10th in the regular season standing starts in 3rd. Row 2, Kyle Busch on the inside, and regular season points leader Joey Logano, who has a shot to clinch the regular season championship today, will roll off 4th. Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin will be in row number 3. Hamlin looking for his 3rd win of the year as well. Brad K looking for his 2nd. Keselowski has no shot of getting inside the top 10 in the regular season point standing, so his only playoff points is going to be the win he had and whatever stage wins or race wins he can get in these final 2 races of the regular season. Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott will be in row 4. We mentioned Chase Elliott won last night in pretty much dominating fashion at the Indianapolis Road Course. Got a stage win, finished 2nd in stage 1, and then ended up winning the race, leading every lap in the final stage. Austin Dillon comes into this race the final driver above the cutoff line. He is currently 42 points to the good ahead of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Going to try to have himself a nice point stay with that good track position to start today's race. Eric Almirola and Matt DiBenedetto will round out the top 10 today. They're both in must-win scenarios if they're going to want to make the playoffs, but good starting spot could go a long way into trying to prove that. Kurt Busch also, he is only 60 points above the cutoff line right now. He starts this race in 12th. Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, they're both light years ahead of the regular season point standings. I think Larson might actually be locked in. Well, no, he wouldn't be locked in because Bowman can still catch him. As long as we don't get another new winner today, I believe both Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman will be locked in. So as long as we don't get 2 different winners below the cutoff line the next 2 races, then Bowman, Larson are absolutely going to be locks for the playoffs. They shouldn't have to worry about their points case scenario. It could definitely clinch today even without the W. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. rolls off 17th. I mentioned he was below the cutoff line. Other drivers that are somewhat close below the cutoff line starting this race today. Chris Buescher will roll off 19th. He is 60 points below the cutoff line. Daniel Suarez is 62 points below the cutoff line. He is starting all the way back in the 28th position. He's going to have his work cut out for him. Eric Jones is 20th in the standings. He is 71 out of first, and he will come in 25th. Starting spot for today's race. And I think that's all the drivers that are at least in the top 20 in the point standings, at least of those without a win. Ryan Blaney going to be starting all the way in last. That's where he qualified for today's race. He lifted a little bit in turns 1 and 2, which definitely costed him quite a bit of time. I didn't think I could run full throttle around this racetrack with the setup I had in it, and I probably should have, and that definitely costed me a lot of time as I lost. For those of you that don't know, if you get out of the gas on a 550 track, you lose a ton of momentum. Let's just say that. You'll lose even more in the draft with other cars on the racetrack, but definitely in qualifying when everybody else is going full throttle, that definitely costed Blaney. But no practice coming into this race, just jumping right into it from qualifying. Dark Crypto, Furfur Express, Joshua Rumsey, Derek Booth, Mark DeMars, and Patrick Shadley and others, welcome into the stream. Schießen Schneider. You spelled my last name wrong, too. I don't know what Schießen is. Ryan Blaney's got the body armor paint scheme today. Going to try to take into victory lane once again this season. The green flag is going to be in the air. We're underway in the Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan. Looks like 3 wide for about 3rd place entering into turns 1 and 2. All about trying to stay in the draft. And it's going to almost feel like a mini Daytona Talladega, at least on the straightaways. Probably going to have to lift in dirty air in the corners, I'd have to imagine. Blaney is feeling gutsy in the early going, already trying to dive bomb underneath the 96 of Suarez. Bit of a checkup into turn 3. That costed him, almost turned Ty Dillon. That was not ideal for Ryan Blaney. That was a big stack up going into the corner. He doesn't have too much damage on the front of his race car, luckily, but he was not expecting that checkup getting into turn 3. Going to look to the inside of Dillon. Not going to be able to do so. Enjoy the race at New Hampshire this weekend, dear. There's a massive checkup in turns 3 and 4. Then he's able to get around Ty Dillon and BJ McLeod in that corner. It's probably going to be a little bit more harsher with the checkup at the back of the field. Blaney knows he is much faster than these cars. Towards the back, he saw that block incoming from a mile away. David Reagan moved up right in front of the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Blaney moved down expecting a block in which Gaughan had to check up, and he was able to get around both drivers. Looking to the bottom, underneath Timmy Hill. Balicki saw the checkup, so he went down low. Blaney squeezes into turns 3 and 4. With that 3 wide move. He's got a little bit of drafting help in front of him as he closes in on Michael McDowell. He's going to take a little bit of a shortcut now, trying to make sure Daniel Suarez isn't going to try to side draft him at all. Cody Ware up the middle 3 wide between Michael McDowell, Daniel Suarez. That is a tight squeeze. I don't know if the 34 and the 51 made contact or not. It was really, well, they definitely did on the back straightaway. That allowed Suarez to clear high. Blaney was getting out of the gas. He wasn't sure if they were going to wreck in front of him or not. Now he just ran into the back of Quinn Houff. Now there's damage on the front of the 12. You got to be... It's the second time he made contact with somebody. I don't think the damage is actually going to slow him down. I hope. I didn't think he hit Ware that hard. He definitely didn't hit him as hard as what it would look if you look at the body of the race car. My light flashed before my eyes, yeah. It's going to be tough to pass today. Pretty large single file line towards the front of the field right now. Blaney going to try to get to the outside of Quinn Houff this time instead of the bottom. We'll see how that's going to work for him. Definitely made the pass on him. Give Josh Balicki a big shot in the tri-oval. Balicki pulled up in front of him. Blaney gonna get to the inside of Balicki into turns 1 and 2. Now underneath the 77 car as well of Justin Haley. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Dark Crypto, welcome. More cars pulling out of line. 3 wide to the outside goes Ryan Blaney. He's going to clear Suarez in the middle of the corner. He's on the outside of the 43 of Eric Jones. And he's close enough behind Corey LaJoie and Michael McDowell in front of him to get a little bit of drafting help again. There's a bit of a gap starting to build up right now between the 38 of Anthony Alfredo and his teammate Michael McDowell currently. Cars on boy Santiago Kid, thanks for tuning in. Joshua Rumsey, welcome. Big dive underneath Corey LaJoie. Blaney to the inside of McDowell as well. On the front stretch, will he be able to clear the 34 car? Not quite. Going to the apron in the tri-oval, trying to take a little bit of a shortcut now. Standing on the gas into turns 1 and 2. It's going to be tough to get around McDowell, especially if LaJoie's still in line behind him. Lenny going up, trying to side draft the 34 off the exit of the corner. He's going to... Oh, he almost turned the 34, McDowell. I thought he was clear enough behind him. He was definitely going to have enough room, but he almost timed it too early and hooked McDowell into the infield. Massive run coming for Blaney to get by McDowell's teammate now, Anthony Alfredo. Clean air in front of the 12 to run full throttle. Not able to do it when he's tucked in line behind other car. Well, never mind. I didn't think I was going to get in the wall there. Thank God I didn't blow a tire. And that's going to allow McDowell to get to the inside of Blaney. Blaney lost his momentum getting into the wall off turn 2. And McDowell got around him. Field's really spacing apart a little bit more than what I thought it was going to. Blaney through 1 and 2 on the bottom will make the pass of McDowell that time. Now that time he held it full throttle without getting into the wall. He's going to block the 34 car on the back straightaway now. Trying to make sure he wasn't going to get crossed over. Blaney's trying to get the momentum back. Not sure where the 48 car's at currently. Everybody will have to pit at some point in this opening stage. Fuel window today will be 40 to 43 laps. We're on the 2-mile tri-oval in Brooklyn, Michigan. 30 people already watching the early going of today's race, but only 5 likes so far. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. A gutsy pass in turns 3 and 4 for Blaney, going 3 wide to the bottom underneath Bubba Wallace, Cole Custer. NASCAR 22 fuel gauge, tire gauge, and mirror. You said maybe, though. Are you hoping they do, or have you seen like a tweet or something about their putting that stuff in the game? I didn't see anything about it. I don't pay enough attention to it. Find out details of that stuff. Ashton G, welcome into the stream. Well, the cars even nowadays can definitely make it past 40 to 43 laps at Michigan. But in this game, the fuel window is shorter than in real life, even with the Gen 6 cars. It's noticeably shorter. So, we know a lot of things are inaccurate with this game, so I don't think that should come by as a surprise by any means. It's amazing how much they check up into turn 3. Blaney was on the brakes and still got it in the back of the 6 of Ryan Newman. You think the damage to 12 car is definitely going to make his vehicle a little bit more tighter. Craig Franklin, welcome in. Tuesday was your birthday? Well, happy belated birthday. No, maybe Tyler. I doubt it then. It will have a fuel gauge. Unless they confirm it, I am going to speculate towards the negative side of things. That's not something I typically do, but knowing this game, I'm just not going to get my hopes up. And he's trying to clear Stenhouse, pretty even with him on the front stretch right now into turns 1 and 2. A lot of side-by-side racing a little bit further up ahead. Blaney's got a lift off turn 2, trying to keep it off the wall. Got really tight, and Stenhouse is able to cross him over. The plan is to pit halfway through the stage for this 12 car, unless his car loosens up enough over the course of this run that he can make it to about lap 40 with the rest of the field. Let's see. And he's able to get right back around Stenhouse on the outside through turns 3 and 4 that time. He may have a shot to get inside the top 10. And your birthday's tomorrow, Horseman. Well, happy early birthday to you. I think a lot of people felt bad for LaJoie on Sunday. Ran the race of his life. Unfortunately, he ended up with a 21st place finish as a result. That entire final stage, and even arguably the entire second half of the race, he had a top 3 race car. And to the outside of the 14 of Briscoe. Got in the back of Eric Almirola, though, and that's going to slow the 12 car up a little more and allow for Briscoe to clear on the bottom. My birthday's August 11th. Got a few weeks yet. Blaney got really tight in the dirty air behind the 10. He definitely can't hold full throttle anymore. 19 laps on the tires. Caution free so far at Michigan. Ryan Blaney won this race in real life last season, as well as the regular season finale at Daytona. He's won 2 of the last 3 races. Finished 29th at the Indianapolis road course last night, but that was because of the game glitches. Otherwise, he probably would have ended up winning his 3rd race in a row. Massive run right now for the 12 car. He's going to pull to the inside. This is going to get really tight. He lifted majorly, knowing that it's a little harder to stay full throttle this far into the run. He's clear high. He was able to clear Briscoe at least, past 1 car in turns 1 and 2. He's back in the draft again. Into turns 3 and 4. Not quite going to get to the outside of Matt DiBenedetto. Oh, he might on the tri-oval. 3 wide. This is going to be a really, really tight squeeze for Ryan Blaney. He's got to run in line behind Reddick. DiBenedetto squeezes back in line behind the 12 of Blaney. Christopher Bell, Reddick side by side. Remember, Blaney 7 points behind Reddick for 8th in the regular season standings coming into the race today. Both are outside the top 10 right now. Reddick still side by side with Bell. Blaney has a major run on both cars. He's going to go to the outside. 3 wide. 3 wide for about 14th. Still 3 wide off the exit of turn 4 as they try to keep it off each other. Bell side drafting Reddick down low. Reddick simultaneously side drafting Blaney up high. Aggressive battle for position right now. And Chastain thinking about going up the middle 3 wide, but DiBenedetto is able to pull in line in front of him. Slowing out the 42 car just a bit more. Bell finally going to have to drop in line behind Reddick. Then he got a good run off the high side that time. He's going to pull out of line, sends it into turns 3 and 4. Now he's out of the throttle. Little slide job maneuver for Blaney. Way out of the gas. He's still going up the track. Finally holds clear off the exit of the corner. And currently rides in the 14th place position at the start-finish line. Kurt Busch all by himself with no drafting help. Bell pulled back down to the bottom, trying to make a pass on Reddick. He'll get to the inside of the 12 of Ryan Blaney as well. And Bell passing both race cars. DiBenedetto on the inside of Reddick, but he can't clear. He's going to lose the outside lane. Chastain will get above him. Into turns 3 and 4 again. Blaney down low. Didn't drive it in as deep that time. Didn't slide as far wide, and he is easily clear back of Bell again off of turn 4. Jay Yo, welcome to the stream. NASCAR Pepsi Cup Series, welcome. Charles McFall, see you in the chat. Well, at least somebody likes NASCAR 21 Ignition. What do I think of Chip Ganassi leaving NASCAR? This is, I mean, consider it's been over a year. I mean, interesting question to randomly ask me, but I mean, it stinks to see him go because that team has been around for a couple decades in the sport. But NASCAR was never his top priority. He was always competing for championships and winning championships over in IndyCar. I think the timing was probably better suited that if he was going to leave NASCAR now, likely more than ever. Especially with how high of a price that the charters were selling for and still are selling for. And he was able to cash out. That would also help the IndyCar program. He's still got an IMSA team as well. And that's been fairly competitive also over the years. Always remember them being a threat to win almost every year with the Rolex 24 at Daytona. That's really the only IMSA race I watch, or make sure I watch every season. G, thanks for tuning in. Game is more glitchy than F1 22. Formula 1 22, is that a glitchy game too? I don't plan on replacing Reddick in 2024. Pretty big shoes to fill. My feet are big, but not big enough to fill those shoes. Well, Reddick's kind of short, so he's probably got small feet. So theoretically, I probably could fit in his shoes. Actually, I wouldn't fit in his shoes. My feet would be too big. If we were talking about a physical shoe, that is. But we're not talking about a physical shoe. We're talking about a theoretical shoe. And he's slowly pulling away from that pack back behind him. Running down the one car of Kurt Busch. Massive run in the tri-oval right now for the 12 of Blaney. He's going to pull out a line on Busch. Didn't aggressively side draft that left rear corner panel before really going all the way down to the bottom. A little slide job from Blaney as he pulls up the track clear of Kurt. Kurt Busch with the crossover though back to the bottom. And I believe he's going to have Blaney clear back. Then he going back down low trying to draft behind Kurt Busch. Now down to the bottom into turns 3 and 4 again. Pass made for 13th. Almost halfway through the stage this time by. And if you're the 12 of Ryan Blaney, do you still pit halfway through the stage? You do the same strategy as the rest of the field, which would mean that they're probably going to pit right around lap 40. No, they're not going to pit during the stage break, so that's going to be interesting too. If you short pit, do you pit during the stage break, lose the track position again? It's interesting. No, I didn't see. I heard about LaJoy interviewing Chase Elliott on his Stacking Pennies podcast, but I didn't get to listen or watch it at all yet today. I was at work. I did see it was up on YouTube when I got home, but I didn't give myself enough time to listen to it. Six cars running 2x2 at the front of the field as well. Possible replacements for RCR. Now, what I would personally want, I think it'd be cool if if Kevin Harvick goes back to RCR in the 29 car with his contract up at SHR, finish his career back where he started it. I think that'd be pretty cool, but I don't know what the plan is. I'd have to imagine if RCR wants to be a championship competing team in the Cup Series again, they've got to get a veteran on that team. They got to find a way to get a proven veteran on that race team. I don't know how they do it. Maybe you do something like what RFK or Roush Keselowski ended up doing, where you try to get a veteran to go your way with like part ownership. I don't know what current driver in the Cup Series would, personally like to do that. Especially of those that would have a contract up, not next year, but after next season, but not this year. Welcome to Ku, welcome to the stream. And he on the outside through turns 3 and 4 this time, and he's lifting. He didn't intentionally run the outside. He only ran there because his car was too tight to turn all the way to the bottom. He continues to stay out past the halfway mark of the stage. This is on champion difficulty. I've been running most of the races on this season on champion difficulty, so I didn't want to change it. I mean, if you're looking at the pipeline at RCR, Austin Hill would make sense to take over the 8 car. Give him another year in Xfinity next season to try and improve. Probably needs a little bit of work on the intermediate tracks. And even though NASCAR's been cutting back on intermediate tracks, with adding more road courses and looking to try and add more short tracks, there's still quite a few intermediate tracks on the schedule, so it's definitely still somewhere you're going to want to have a really, really good handle of when you're moving your way up the ladder in the top 3 series of NASCAR. PS VJ, welcome to the stream. Welcome from the Netherlands. We like NASCAR here on this channel too. Make sure to hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We've consistently had over 30 people watching pretty much the entirety of this race. Only 11 likes. And also subscribe if you have not already for more daily NASCAR content. Over the last 90 days on the channel, 88% of the viewers of this channel are not subscribed. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate that the views have gone way up over the last, well, 90 days, especially the last 3 months. But definitely hit that subscribe button as well. I think it was like 88.4%. I looked at it a couple days ago. I was actually shocked it was that much, because I know for a while it was at like 60%, but it skyrocketed over the last month or so. I think of the live commentary live streams that's made that happen a little bit more. F122 is a great game. Oh, it's not glitchy. You made that reference earlier, and I was thinking you said that because F122 is glitchy, but not as glitchy as this game. The real problem for Blaney is he is slowly closing in on the cars ahead of him when they're racing side by side or 3 wide like they're doing right now through turns 1 and 2. That's really going to slow him down. I figure Blaney's not able to save fuel down these long straightaways at Michigan while he's on the throttle as well. He's got nobody to draft with. Still 3 wide into turns 3 and 4. They've been 3 wide for almost an entire lap. Inside the top 10. And side by side right behind him as well. And a little bit further up the front stretch, you can see the leaders faintly just entering turn 1 as Ryan Blaney hit the start-finish line. So almost a third of a track yet behind those guys. Probably more like a quarter of a track behind those guys. The race leaders. Which would equate to probably about 8 or 9 seconds. Yeah, somebody mentioned it yesterday, a few people during the live stream about the Alex Palou thing, and I was rewatching David Land's live stream, some of it at least last night, kind of breaking down the details of it and stuff, because I didn't hear about it until you guys mentioned it, so I don't look at my phone during the stream at all, unless I'm looking at the chat on the live commentary streams, but that would be the only way I'd ever be on my phone. Blaney lifting off turn 2, barely kept it off the wall. He felt as if he wasn't going to make that corner, and it was a wise decision to not blow a tire here. Trying to make it to the end of the run. Again, 40 to 43 laps, about all the further anybody could go on fuel. Might see some cars pitting this time. Oh, nobody in that group up ahead at least, as they continue to stay out of the pits. Welcome to the stream, Bryce. Lap 40, so Blaney's got about 3 more laps of fuel left in the race car. 20 to go in stage 1 this time by. Again, still caution free. This far behind the race leaders, though, you will go a lap down if you pit. The leaders themselves might be able to get away with staying on the lead lap. Blaney's going to pit this time. He's going to try to short pit, gain as much time as he possibly can. Can't speed. I'm not sure what the speed limit is. I'm going to guess probably 45 miles an hour. I don't know what it is yet. Into the box goes Blaney. 4 tires and fuel. No adjustments to this race car. If you're wondering why there's so much damage on the car, I have no clue why there's this much damage. I only got in the back of another car like 3 times. It was very lightly for the most part all 3 times. It's not slowing the car down, that's for sure. There's a little bit of a scuff on the right side of the car because he also did hit the wall off the exit of turn 2 one time earlier in the race. About lap 20-ish. Blaney going to work his way back onto the racetrack, and he is really, really hoping that we continue to stay green until everybody cycles through pit stops at least. So far, so good. Blaney gets up to speed on the bottom of the track. So he pitted at lap 40. We'll see how many laps he'll have these fresh tires for to try and make up as much time as possible. Wow, it's amazing what the difference is with fresh tires. He hooked the white line all the way through the corner. I forgot I was even able to do that. The thing is, the draft just plays so much of an effect at this racetrack. And even with having this fresh of tires right now, it's not really gaining a whole lot of time on the straightaways. It's all cornering where he's using this tire advantage. Oscar Ramirez Herrera and Billy Carjoy, welcome into the stream as well. And he had the left sides down on the apron, clipped it just a tad. Has the fresher tires plus the low horsepower, high downforce package going to allow him to hook that corner. Reddick pulled out of line. That allowed for Blaney to get a little bit of a draft. This time, Reddick trying to get back in line in front of De Benedetto and right behind Christopher Bell. And De Benedetto got into the right rear corner panel of the 8 car. And luckily, Reddick was able to keep the car under control and not spin out before entering turn 1. We're just tuning in. Ryan Blaney pitted at lap 40, waiting on the rest of the field to hit pit road for the first time today during stage 1 as he tried to short pit and gain as much time as he can on these fresher tires. He was in 13th place when he pitted and was probably about 8 or 9 seconds off the lead, if I had to imagine. Still none of the leaders in the pits. Can we get a new winner to lock themselves in the playoffs today? Well, Chris Buescher up to 11th place right now. They're starting outside the top 15. He's gained a few spots from the start of the race today. He may be 60 points below the cutoff line, but a win would put him in, and that would bump Austin Dillon out. And it is a tight battle between Kurt Busch and Austin Dillon for 15th right now. And that would be the battle for that final playoff spot if we did get somebody below the cutoff line winning either today or at Daytona. Only 18 points separate Kurt Busch and Austin Dillon. And with Daytona being the regular season finale, I don't think you want to go into that race on the bubble if you can help it. Austin Dillon's going to have no choice. Being in 16th, or Kurt Busch for that matter, they're going to really have no choice. Bowman and Larson likely going to clinch on points today. The only way they wouldn't is if we ended up getting... Well, Larson, I believe, would be in anyway. Unless Bowman gets ahead of him. And Bowman would be in. One of the two. But if we don't get a new winner today, both of them will be locked in on points. And we'll have just 2 spots available into the final race of the regular season. To try to get locked up. But just saw some of the leaders hit pit road that time. Austin Dillon's in 5th. Not sure if any of the cars in front of him hit pit road or not. Blaney's still a lap down. He'd definitely like these leaders to pit this time so he can try to get back on the lead lap in case a caution comes out. Does not want to get trapped a lap down, even though it is still early in this race, not even 25% of the way home. He's going to have about 6 lap older tires on the drivers pitting right now. It's not too bad. Probably going to make a difference initially. But honestly, as long as Blaney can hang on in the draft, I think he'll be alright. He's only asking 20 laps out of these tires, so he should be able to stay full throttle, at least on his own, most of the way through the corner. Long line of cars coming up ahead, both lead lap and lap cars. Blaney trying to stay wide. Off turn 4, a few other cars pitting. Larson is in the lead, trying to get his first win of the season and become the 13th different winner, even though he is above the cutoff line by a substantial amount. Over 3 full races worth of points ahead. Just hoping that cutoff line doesn't move too much. $107. Blaney back to 14th, and not everybody has hit pit road yet. He was able to lap himself until at least those cars were pitting off turn 4. And I think here are some of the leaders just working their way out of the pits. There's Kyle Larson on the... Oh, and caution's out! Caution is out late in the stage, and Blaney was just about to get around Larson, who was the leader when the pit stop started. That is going to be interesting. I believe Blaney should be on the lead lap. Green flag is back in the air at Michigan. And this is going to shake things up on the restart. I think we've got some backmarker cars at the front of the field now. And we only have 6 laps to go in stage 1 currently. Not the greatest restart for Ryan Blaney. A lot of slower cars at the front of the field trying to steal some stage points, and a lot of faster cars trying to get through them. Side by side into turns 1 and 3 and 4 rather. 3 wide on the apron goes Blaney. That was a treacherous move. He's going to slide clear of the points leader Logano for 8th place off turn 4. Busch taking it 3 wide, making contact with Harvick in the tri-oval. 5 to go in the stage. Blaney on older tires on the cars in line behind him, though. It's going to be tough for him to catch this pack on his own up ahead. How about Stenhouse? First driver below the cutoff line is in 6th. Buescher in 7th. The second driver below the cutoff line, they're both looking for stage points right now. Blaney is not going to gain any time on those guys if they stay single file. He's going to need them to have to pull out a line here and try to battle each other. It looks like they will do just that into turns 1 and 2. Keselowski down low on the bottom. Slides clear of Blaney. Kyle Busch gets around him as well. That was not a caution Blaney wanted. He really needed this to stay green. How much will those cars up ahead battle? Blaney to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Underneath Kyle Busch in the 18. He'll slide back in line behind him in the tri-oval. 3 laps to go at the line. Nearly 3 wide in the tri-oval inside the top 5. Busch pulling out a line on Keselowski. Into turns 1 and 2. Blaney down low. Couldn't get any clean air with Busch down there, though. Harvick made a pass on Joey Logano, or at least attempted to. They're still side by side. Logano getting a run. Into turns 3 and 4. Blaney going to hold on in front of him. Busch and Keselowski are going to get to that pack, and they're going to have a massive run when they get there. 2 to go. Stage points on the line. Blaney getting as much clean air as he can down to the bottom of the racetrack. Through turns 1 and 2. Aggressive clearance on Logano. Logano gave him a push and launched him a little bit further ahead of the 22 car now on the back straightaway. We'll check up in line in 3 and 4. Blaney makes a couple passes up to 8th place. Behind Eric Almirola in the 10. Pulls out a line on Almirola in the tri-oval. Might have been a little early to do that. He side drafted in the 10 car, battling him for 7th. A little bit of contact. Heading towards turn 1. Blaney can't hang on. He had to lift just a little bit. And now that's going to allow Kyle Busch to get back underneath the 12 car. Keselowski will follow Busch. He will not go behind his teammate. Ryan Blaney fighting for it. Little contact with the 2. 3 wide into turns 3 and 4. Keselowski clear off turn 4 after a little bit of contact. Blaney going to try to get him back at the line, but not going to be able to do it. And that will end stage number 1 at Michigan. Denny Hamlin will win stage 1 at Michigan today. And we may get a different winner below the cutoff line. Inside the top 7, there were 5 drivers below the cutoff line who scored stage points in stage number 1. This is going to create an intense playoff battle. And for Denny Hamlin, that is his 3rd stage win of the season. All 3 of them coming in the last 5 races now. Matt DiBenedetto finishes 2nd in stage 1. Chase Elliott 3rd. Chris Buescher 4th. Ryan Newman 5th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 6th. Eric Almirola in 7th. Brad Keselowski 8th. Ryan Blaney 9th. Kyle Busch rounds out the top 10 in this stage. Interesting development right now for Ryan Blaney. Do you pit or do you stay out? And the call for him is going to be to stay out, keep this track position. He may have to pit a couple laps before everybody else when the time comes for pit stops in stage 2. Luckily, he was able to get back on the lead lap before that caution came out for him to at least get some sort of stage points, and obviously, most importantly, stay on the lead lap, have a shot to win this race. So no pit stop for Ryan Blaney during the stage break. That's going to give Denny Hamlin, by the way, 13 playoff points currently this season. He's in the top 10 in the regular season points as it is. Alrighty. Let's try this again. Green flag back in the air at Michigan. I got to pause it for a quick second. I got to get the chat back on my screen. I had on my Google Docs page still. And Blaney did not take off well on the restart. I think he upshifted to 3rd gear a bit too quickly that time, and he is going to lose some track position, initially at least. I think EA can make a better NASCAR game. I definitely think they can make one better than what we have. If they get the time to actually make that first initial game. I don't know who went down to the apron 3 wide. It looked like Eric Almirola, and he may get into his teammate Harvick, who is in the middle lane off the exit of turn 4. Blaney coming with a big run as the 10 and the 4 car are making contact. They're going to be 4 wide now as they enter turn 1. Oh my goodness, they made it. Blaney getting tight, making contact with the 48. Costed him momentum on the back straightaway as he pulled back in the line. Sends it into 3 and 4. Gets around Bowman there. Keselowski in the 2 car right in front of Ryan Blaney. Blaney gives him a push. Blaney helping the deuce out. Teammates working together. Into turns 1 and 2. Blaney side drafts Keselowski on that pull down to the inside. Off the exit of turn 2. I don't think he's going to be able to clear. There's no room to clear anyway with Kyle Busch not that far in front of the 2. Keselowski thought about pulling out of line. Pulls back into line. Blaney will pull out of line. They check up so much in turns 3 and 4. That opens the door up for Blaney almost every time. Now he's in front of Matt DiBenedetto in the 21 car. Stay wide and try not to block the 21 car. Blaney inside the top 5. Monster Jam X10, welcome to the stream. Blaney's car is going to tighten up on this longer run. Kyle Busch will dive to the bottom down through 1 and 2. He'll make a pass. Blaney's going to win Michigan later this year. He definitely can. Zach Schuchman, welcome to the stream. Blaney gets around Busch. Under Stenhouse, off turn 4, but not going to be able to clear him. Denny Hamlin leads. Blaney back in line behind Stenhouse. And in front of Kyle Busch in the 18. Busch going to go low, and he's going to try to cross the 12 car over again. Blaney's got dirty air with the 47 car in front of him. Had to lift quite a bit in turns 1 and 2. Bowman to the inside of the 12 now. Blaney still tight off turn 2. Gets a shot from behind. Has straightened him out. And he gets back around Bowman. Busch side by side with Stenhouse at the line for 4th place. Can't make the pass. Bowman back to the inside of the 12 of Blaney into turns 1 and 2. Bowman rockets past both Blaney and Kyle Busch that time. Busch gonna pull out a line, but with doing that, Blaney had to run off the high side. He'll get back around the 18 car. Now he'll look low into turn 3 as he carries that momentum down to the bottom of the racetrack. Clears everybody for 4th. Alan Williams, welcome to the stream. Wants Harvick to get a win. See, Harvick's pretty good at Michigan usually too. At least with the Gen 6 car. He's pretty good at New Hampshire also. I think if he's going to win a race this season, it's going to be this weekend. Or at a track like Phoenix. Those flatter tracks really work for him. Blaney up to 3rd now as he gets by Buescher through 3 and 4. For some point in time, the tires are definitely going to even out that the 12 has versus the 9, the 11, and the rest of the leaders in front of him. And Elliott's got a massive run right now on Denny Hamlin. He's going to go low for the lead. As he does that, Blaney's just going to have to sit tightly in line behind these guys, and he's going to lose them off turn 2 as he lifted off the exit of the corner to keep it off the wall. Blaney underneath Elliott, clips the white line. He'll slide clear of the 9 car, and he is right in line behind the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Blaney has not led yet today. Lap 69 this time by. Elliott looking low. Blaney with a block. Trying to keep the 9 car behind him. Into turns 1 and 2. Elliott trying to back the corner up, it looked like. Blaney down to the bottom to get a little clean air on his car. Maybe Elliott got tight because he was in the same line as Hamlin. Into turns 3 and 4. Hamlin almost squeezed Blaney. Blaney gets underneath him and clears Denny Hamlin off turn 4. And Ryan Blaney will lead his first lap of the race this time by at the start-finish line as he'll go down low trying to break whatever draft he can. The 11 car behind him. Kind of trying to protect himself in this middle lane as much as he can. Hamlin may get to the outside. Risky business there off turn 2. Hamlin got squeezed and now Elliott's down underneath. He'll be looking for the lead into turns 3 and 4 and he may get there. Blaney getting a little tight in the middle of the corner. Hamlin up the middle, 3 wide. Blaney was so far out of the gas that both the 11 and the 9 get around. Here comes Keselowski on the inside. Oh, he is not giving his teammate a lot of room, and now everybody's here all of a sudden. Blaney's losing a bunch of spots. Quickly, after leading 1 lap, falls from 1st to 6th in about a lap and a half. He'll pull out a line into 3 and 4. They check up so much, he's up to 2nd again. Hamlin's getting away with this battle for 2nd heating up. Keselowski now to P2. Bowman on the bottom lane as they work together to get around the 12, who slide jobbed his way in front of everybody. Into 1 and 2. Blaney got to get by Bowman. He's getting tight. He's out of the throttle. Out of the gas again. 3 wide underneath. Buescher back inside the top 5. I'm getting confused. Is this Daytona 1 race early? I was not expecting this much passing at Michigan with the 550 package today. Blaney blocks Elliott off turn 4. Kyle Busch back in it again. We know he's got a fast car. Into turns 1 and 2. Blaney trying to get back around Buescher. And does. Michigan might race like a super speedway. I doubt it. I don't think it will. Now with the low downforce package that they're going to use that the next gen have had on all the intermediates except for Atlanta. But Atlanta was reconfigured and repaid for it to be basically a miniature super speedway. Michigan's not that way. That checkup got Blaney that time. I like how as I'm trying to make a pass for second, we didn't come here for second. It's like, what? I'm trying to get back to the lead. Todd. Kind of good race so far. That giant pack further back is starting to close in on the top 4. They're a lot more spaced together. Or spaced apart. Oh, man! That was nearly a catastrophe on the back straightaway. Bowman almost got turned by the 48. Or by the 12 of Blaney. 48 almost went around. Bowman clear off turn 4 now. Blaney's going to draft in line behind him. Blaney was trying to side draft the 48, and then the 48 tried to throw a block simultaneously and moved up. As Blaney was moving down, he almost hooked himself. Blaney on the outside through turns 1 and 2, trying to get as much clean air as he can. He's going to get eaten alive by this pack behind him. And also, he's going to have to pit very soon. He's probably only going to be able to go 43 laps, so lap 83, he's going to have to pit. Through turns 3 and 4, can't quite get back underneath the 48 car that time. William Byron in 15th, I believe, is the first car lap down. So remember, there was a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops. Blaney was barely on the lead lap. Byron, who was one spot behind him, was the only car, or the first car, I should say, that was a lap down when the caution flag waved. He's trying to get his lap back before the end of stage 2 or another caution, whatever comes first. And he was able to get around Bowman despite Bowman squeezing Blaney again. 48 and the 12 are battling aggressively with one another. And Blaney's trying to block top to bottom through the tri-oval and stay in front of Bowman as much as he can. Pulls towards the bottom to get a little bit of clean air on the nose. The 48 has company underneath him from Byron. Blaney lifts off the exit of turn 2 quite substantially. Busch has a run now behind Bowman. But Bowman and Byron are side drafting each other so much. It also allowed the 18 to keep that run up. Blaney closes towards the back of the 2 of Keselowski again. Off turn 4, trying to keep the momentum up. Blaney gonna bump draft the 2. Blaney on the outside. I'm surprised Keselowski went low. I think he was just trying to protect the bottom. And unfortunately for Ryan Blaney, Byron had a massive run, got around him. Again, that was not for position. Byron trying to get his lap back that he lost in stage 1 because of that caution coming out in the middle of green flag pit stops. Kyle Busch in the 18, on the other hand, he's trying to get in contention to get around Hamlin eventually and take the win in this stage away. from his teammate. Blaney gets back around Byron through 3 and 4, as well as Keselowski for second. And Blaney, who has only led one lap today, at lap 80, is potentially going to challenge for the lead again on Denny Hamlin. He's got a big run into turns 1 and 2. He's going to go to the inside. He's going to try to clear the 11. He does. He clears Denny Hamlin with the slide job. Now Hamlin's going to cross him over to the inside off turn 2. Oh, we got a race now. Oh, Hamlin trying to squeeze Blaney like Bowman did. Here comes Keselowski back in the picture. Still side by side for the lead. Hamlin clear off turn 4, hangs on. Byron to the inside. Keselowski up high, right behind his teammate. Blaney's pulling way out of line. He wants to protect the inside. He wants to be the one to make the dive bomb underneath the 11 of Hamlin, but he was a little too far back that time. Can't complete the pass, and as he goes back in line on the outside off turn 2, it'll be Kyle Busch in the 18 looking down low. Blaney gonna block Busch on the back straightaway. He's clear. Keselowski fills the void on the outside. Blaney underneath Hamlin. Hamlin had to check up, getting into 3. Blaney back to the lead off turn 4. And here comes that fast line of cars behind him. Blaney trying to break the draft. Kyle Busch saw that. He went down low. Underneath the 11 of Hamlin for second place into turns 1 and 2. Side by side for second, right behind the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Contact between Elliott and Bowman a little further back. He pulls away a bit through 3 and 4 that time. Trying to give himself as much breathing room as he can. Definitely not as fast in 1 and 2 as what he is in 3 and 4. Going to go all the way to the bottom of the track. This is the most super speedway-like race on a non-super speedway I think I've ever seen. Blaney will stay out one more lap and then he's going to pit. He'll push it to lap 84. Before making a scheduled pit stop. They're 3 wide towards the back of that lead pack right now. Everybody battling for track position. Just shy of the halfway mark, not only in today's race, but stage 2 as well. 60 laps in each of the first 2 stages. The final stage will be 80 laps. But everybody will be able to make it on fuel in each stage for 1 pit stop. The entire race. Blaney will pit this time by. Hamlin's got a big run on him going into turn 3. Blaney's got to try to get down to the bottom so he can pit this time. It'll be another 4-tire stop as he's down on the apron. He's checking up and off the exit of turn 4. There he goes towards pit road. And he is down to pit road speed. 4 tires and fuel for the 12 car. No adjustments once again. He'll be the first car to hit pit road, and it again is from the lead. It's the second time Blaney has led today. He didn't give it up 1 lap after taking it away. The last time he was able to lead for about 3 or 4 consecutive laps before hitting the pits. Now he should be able to gap himself if we cycled through green flag pit stops this time. We did not last time, so it's, again, risky to pit now, but Blaney pitted early the first time around, so he has to pit early again automatically this time around. But he also is further up in the running order with leading versus he was back at 13th and about 8 to 9 seconds off the lead in stage 1 when he had pitted during green flag conditions. A lot more condensed together as the pack at stage 2. Because back at stage 1 there really wasn't a pack until that last restart. And he will be scored 17th. And he'll continue to drop back until he gets up to speed. Probably in the middle of turns 3 and 4 before he is going to get back up to speed.
2 on the outside, you're 3.
Into turn 3 down on the bottom.
3 wide, 2
Blaney's got fresher tires than the rest of the field now. He is in 18th place. Probably another game glitch, Mark. The smoke coming from the hood. Blaney's going to have just enough fuel to make it to the end of this stage. Probably be about 6 laps to the good. He's definitely going to be pitting during the stage break at the end of stage 2. Over 50 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in today. The Torres, welcome to the stream. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content, live race commentary on the daily. NASCAR video game during the week, but the real race is on the race weekend. Got New Hampshire coming up this weekend for the Cup Series that I'll be doing live commentary for. Our pre-race begins at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. The prelude to that will be tomorrow on the channel with a NASCAR 06 Do It For Dale Series race at New Hampshire. Same track the Cup Series will be racing at real life later this weekend. That's the next Cup race on our Do It For Dale series. Blaney's going to rocket past these guys on fresh tires right now. And there's the lead pack up ahead. If he can get through it for a potential caution, that would be ideal. In the bottom, off turn 2, 3 wide. Stenhouse is one of the cars that got trapped a lap down, it looks like, as he is in 16th, unfortunately. And he's hoping none of these cars above him are going to pit this time off turn 4. They do not, as he holds 3 wide. Side by side for the lead between the Joe Gibbs Toyotas of Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. Blaney on fresher tires is working his way through. Kyle Busch goes down the track to side draft a little bit. Blaney to the inside, 3 wide, trying to get back on the lead lap, and does quickly. So now if we get another caution late in the stage like we did last time, and Ryan Blaney will be able to hold on to the lead lap. He doesn't want there to be a caution, though, if he could help it. Because he is going to have a pretty big lead. And he's basically just going to have to hold on with that big lead to the end of the stage. Which is going to be tough considering it's a 2-mile racetrack and we still have half the stage remaining yet. 10 laps away from the halfway mark tonight. And we'll have a trivia question that I will have to look up. There will be a brief pause in the action when that time comes. Thanks for that comment, No Torres. See any cars hit pit road that last time by. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch still 1-2. Ryan Newman is up to 14th now at the front of the lead pack, also below the cutoff. Well, wait a minute. How is Newman a lap down? Because Newman was in the top 10 at the end of the last stage. I remember him being top 5. He definitely is not one of the cars that are a lap down. I think it randomized the running order during the stage break. I see Christopher Bell's back at 38th. He may be out of the race, and if that's the case, then he is not going to have a shot at finishing in the top 10 in the regular season. I saw other cars around him in the point standings that are ahead inside the top 10, also DNF. Tough break for Bell. He's definitely in the hunt. And you can see on the top of the screen the regular season point standings currently, and then the playoff standings will follow that. You get into the playoffs, you get to see the points going into every race at the top of the screen as well. And he's really, really pulling away. I think that means it's going to be time to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today for about a dozen laps. Got cars on pit road currently. Kyle Larson now out in front. Lenny's back inside the top 10. See Hamlin just making his way off pit road back there now. Blaney's going to have a decent-sized gap on him, but I don't think it's going to be one that he's going to be able to hold on to the end of the stage. Hoping it plays green this time around, because that'll help him more. That is the case. A lot of slower cars in front of Blaney that have not pitted yet. A lot of back markers, too. They're leaving the bottom wide open for the 12 car. He's fine with that. Oh, man, that was a close call. I think he might have made contact with the 36. Thought he was going to be clear off the exit of turn 2, but I guess he wasn't. Almost turned himself. And he back to 6th. Still waiting on the top 5 to hit pit road. Probably already in. And just making their way off now, if I had to imagine. Well, Blaney back in the lead. Side by side coming out of the pits, just up in front. Oh, wow, what was that? One car just came to a stop and cleans the 12 of Blaney out. Oh my goodness. It happened so quick and Blaney could not get out of the way. Luckily when he spun, he did not hit anything. It was very fortunate the car didn't flip either at these high rated speeds. He's going to have to pit now. Unfortunately he can't pit for fuel or tires. Unbelievable. He was looking behind him to see where the pack was, and as soon as we went back to the dash cam, there was a car parked on the front stretch, or the back stretch. That was definitely a jump scare. I don't know who that was that happened so fast. It was a red car of some sort. Was it Harvick? I need to go back and look at that. I don't know who that was. There are some cars on pit road right now. I'm going to pause it real quick. I need to see. I can't tell who that is. I mean, it happened so fast. Maybe Cole Custer? I think it was Chase Briscoe. It was one of the Haas cars. I think it was Briscoe because Custer's got the silver, like the chrome Haas paint scheme. I'm going back. I'm looking at it. and I think it was Chase Briscoe in the 14 car, who coincidentally spun off the front bumper of Ryan Blaney at Indy when he tried to throw a block middle of the race, and now he cleans. He is very fortunate he didn't hook him in the right rear. Blaney spun out because he hit him in the side, but if Blaney would have gotten hooked in the right rear, he would have went head-on into the outside wall. That probably would have ended his day. Very fortunate that he spun down the track and didn't spin straight head-on into the inside wall either. He was able to spin like a top. No grass on the backstretch. That was wild. Well, while I have it paused, I might as well look up the trivia question now as we're about halfway. So let me find that for you guys. Second caution for incident tonight. Third total of the race if you count the stage 1 break. And Blaney's going to have to restart towards the tail of the field now, unfortunately. That took him out of a shot to get stage points in stage 2, likely. Likely, at least. We'll see how it works out for him. He's going to have to be gutsy on this restart. He's going to have a little bit older tires than the rest of the field behind him. Alright, so tonight's trivia question on the channel is, who is the most recent driver to win at Michigan and win the NASCAR Cup Series championship in the same season? That will be tonight's trivia question. Who is the most recent driver to win a Cup race at Michigan? Remember, they've had 2 dates for a while, so it could be any of the Cup race. Beach Ball, welcome to the stream. It's an odd comment, but welcome. Again, tonight's trivia question is, who is the only driver, or who is the most recent driver to win a Cup Series championship and a Michigan race in the same season? Stopped, it was Custer in the 41. I don't think it was, because Custer's got a chrome car. It was a red car, I think. And on the leaderboard, Briscoe is the next one in front of us. So that's why I was thinking it was Briscoe. Patrick Ellison, welcome to the stream. Toxic Punk Youngboy, welcome. Caleb, welcome. Playing on PS4. Happened in about 2 seconds. It was... I mean, there was no chance to get out of the way. Green flag back in the air. I'm going to go back to the normal camera now that we're on the restart. If I wasn't in the look back cam, I think I would have missed it, but... that and he was stopped. I'm lucky I didn't drill him, like, head on. That would have ended the day, too. Laney's going to keep the speed in his race car. He's banking on this pack getting very racy at the front of the field right now. They're 3 wide for the lead into turn 3. That's definitely going to help. They're 3 wide through most of the pack through 3 and 4 right now. And they're stacking up big time. Ryan Blaney's down on the bottom of the racetrack trying to pick up as much ground as he can. He's side by side with Quinn Houff in the 00. Blaney back in the 15th place position right now. A lot of ground to catch up. He finished 9th at the end of stage 1. They are almost 4 wide at turns 1 and 2. Contact up ahead. Chastain, McDowell, and then there was probably more contact in front of them as they checked up even more. Oh my goodness, Blaney hopping out of line. He does not like the way this pack is racing right now. As he squeezed down towards the grass, he gets into Davison. Davison is going to get turned back across the field, and that'll bring out another caution. Oh, geez. Yellow flag's out again. Blaney couldn't go any lower, and Davison, he was below the apron himself. Couldn't hang on after the contact. Green flag back in the air. 10 laps to go in the stage. Okay, welcome to the stream. I said your name wrong. I thought it was an L, but it was an I. There's Briscoe again.
One left. Stay high. Still there. Only a few laps till we pick.
Mikhail, welcome to the stream. Trivia question? Yeah, Mark DeMar's got it. Sorry, I was paying attention to the battle. Oh my goodness, Justin Haley up the middle. I would not be surprised if we see another caution before the stage comes to an end. Contact down below between the Spire cars. Corey LaJoy, Justin Haley, Blaney able to get way down to the bottom. He's currently in 14th. 2001 Jeff Gordon was the correct answer. Mark DeMars, I believe, was the first one to get it correct in the chat down below. So congrats, Mark. Jeff Gordon, 2001 Michigan winner. It's the last driver to win at Michigan and win the championship in the Cup Series in the same season. Briscoe pulling out of line to throw a block on Haley. Blaney simultaneously going to do that on Bubba Wallace on the back straightaway right now. Blaney on older tires, kind of struggling to the end of the stage. He'll get by Stenhouse for 13th, though, that checkup into turns 3 and 4. Don't think there's going to be a shot. Blaney's going to get stage points in stage 2 like he did in stage 1. For that untimely spin, unfortunately, while leading nonetheless in the second half of the stage. Thought it was Larson. Larson didn't win at Michigan last year. Blaney won at Michigan last season. Win a championship and a race at Michigan in the same season.
One left. All right, hold your line. Clear all around. One left.
Briscoe down low.
All right, hold your line. Clear, clear, clear.
Blaney's had enough of him over the last couple races. Cost him a stage win today.
5 laps. We'll be pitting in about 5 laps.
Surprised a guy to stick on the apron through 1 and 2 like that.
Down one left.
Blaney blocking Briscoe extra aggressively. The 2001 race between Gordon and Rudd was a thriller. Yes, it was. I've seen the highlight of the end of that race before. I think it was the closest Michigan finish in the Cup Series until last season. Or, well, until the last few races there, actually, because 2020 pretty close as well.
Clear, clear, clear.
Briscoe got to get around Blaney through turns 1 and 2. Back in 27. Blaney's on the lead lap at 13. Yeah, Mark DeMars had it first. But you did have it correct also, Michael. He's going to get right back around Briscoe again. 5 laps to go at the line. I think he'll be able to get to Almirola for 12.
Clear, 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 clear.
Blaney's going to have to pit during the stage break. Be able to at least take on fresher tires for the restart.
Clear, clear.
And it will be a one-stopper in the final stage as well. So Blaney's probably going to just split it in half, 40 and 40. Boy, got to get back around Briscoe that time through 3 and 4. Almost did.
Stay left. Clear, clear, clear.
William Byron's back to 28th.
We got about 5 laps of fuel.
Cautions are hurting William Byron in the 24 car. Knowing how good the other 3 have been today, I'm sure Byron's just as fast. We've had 2 cautions in the middle of green flag pit stops that have trapped a lot of the field multiple laps down. gets back around Cole Custer. Custer Briscoe battling for position right now. DiBenedetto, who finished second in the last stage, is back to 11th in this stage. Now Custer running into the side of Ryan Blaney. What's that SHR's problem with me? I swear if that blew a tire, I was going to be... You guys want to see me explode between last night and today with what's been happening.
We'll be pitting in about 5 laps. Two inside, here's 3 wide, got 1 left. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear.
William Byron gassing it up.
Got 1 right. Clear, clear, clear.
Final lap of stage 2, this time by at the start-finish line. Byron down low trying to get around Almirola. Blaney goes down underneath both drivers, 3 wide. Clears Almirola for 12th off turn 4 as they were able to side draft each other through the middle of the corner. Custer in line right behind the 24 car, now pulls back in line on the outside behind his teammate in the 10. Oh, Almirola gets into the 12 now. Green-white checkered flag going to be in the air this time by Ryan Blaney, not going to get stage points in stage 2. And stage 2 will come to an end. Take a look at who all got stage points. Kyle Larson will win stage 2 tonight at Michigan. And for Larson, that is going to be stage win number 7 on the season. His 7 mark will put him at the second most stage wins on the season behind Blaney. Brad Keselowski finishes second. Chris Buescher third. He's been top 5 all night. Joey Logano fourth, and Denny Hamlin, who won stage 1, will finish 5th in stage 2. Chase Elliott 6th. Kevin Harvick 7th. Alex Bowman 8th. Austin Dillon 9th. Kyle Busch will round out the top 10 in the second stage. Well, it is time for the final stage of this wild race today at Michigan. And I'd say stage 2 was a lot wilder than even stage 1 was. And stage 1 was wild towards the end. I've been getting some late cautions in both stages so far. Blaney will pit during this stage break. Assuming that the rest of the field is going to stay out, that would mean that Ryan Blaney will be able to come in, take on 4 tires. He'll be at the back of the pack, but he'll be able to try and race his way back towards the front on those 4 fresh Goodyears. Chris Davis, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Green flag back in the air. 80 laps in the final stage. Trying to winner in the Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan. Trying to replicate history. Getting the win for Ryan Blaney, who won this race in real life last season. Trying to get him more playoff points with the playoffs looming right around the corner. Those are fanning out big time into turns 3 and 4. And he expected it, went down to the apron. Hangs on with the fresh tires, of course. Drafting's going to be of the utmost importance. I wonder if the entire field pitted during the stage break, because Blaney's not blowing through these guys like he has fresh tires right now. Like you would think he'd be able to do. And if everybody pitted during the stage break, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be equal strategy basically from here to the finish. He's definitely going to have to keep it off the wall. It's the 4th time he's hit it now. And I'd say the field definitely has fresher tires. So Blaney's at the back, lost all that track position. You would think he'd be up there with the rest of the field, but no, that's not how this game works. Hi, Mike Whitty, welcome to the stream. That's just terrible. I know why you have that as your username. Ruthless. It is an absolute conga line at the top of the track, and Blaney wanted in it. Slid up quickly in front of Joey Gase. Stacked up going into turn 3. Into the back of Ryan Newman went Blaney that time. That stalled him out right in the middle of the corner. Blaney's got to get going here. A little better through 1 and 2. There's definitely a big stack up of cars in front of him. That is for certain. Three wide down towards the bottom. Into turns 3 and 4. On the apron. Contact with Corey LaJoy. I don't know how that didn't spin the 12 car head on into the wall, but it's going to work out for Blaney one way or another. Stenhouse right in line behind him, looking to get around him for position. Not going to happen that time into turns 1 and 2. Blaney blocks the bottom, and as they side draft each other behind him, slows those guys up just a little bit more. Blaney in line behind the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. He's going to pull out of line so he can make the pass into turn 3. Brendan Gaughan is in 17th right now. The Beard family number 62 car. On a non-super speedway. I know this is racing like a super speedway today, but still. It is not. It's an intermediate. R6, welcome to the stream. Will we get a caution in the final stage, like we did in each of the first 2 stages? You have to imagine we probably will again. I think Blaney wants to be on the right side of it, if he can help it. Trying to time the checkup so he stops from running in the back of him. Don't want to keep doing that. Slide clear of Bubba Wallace off turn 2. The pass for position there. Those were all cars that were already lapped down. Hendricks fan, welcome to the stream. Then he gets around Almirola for 12th. Still a lot of lap cars between himself and the race leader. Side by side for the lead up ahead. It looks like side by side behind him for about 3rd also. He needs those guys to stack each other up and continue to race side by side as much as possible. Blaney throws a block on Daniel Suarez in the tri-oval. And to keep as many cars behind him as possible. Way down low on the apron through 1 and 2. Question was, who was the last driver to win at Michigan? Last driver to win at Michigan and win the championship in the same season was Jeff Gordon in 2001. Only other one you can think of was Dale Jarrett in '99. Yeah, I mean, back in the 80s, I have no clue who would have won at Michigan. I mean, I could probably think of the names that did it, but to name what year they did it, I'd have no clue. Chris Buescher fell back to 11th on this latest restart after finishing in the top 3 at the end of the last stage. This is the final call to see if anybody that has been running up towards the front without a win so far this season can find a way to win their first race and lock themselves in the playoffs, especially those below the cutoff line. Matt DiBenedetto needs a win. Buescher maybe doesn't need a win with the stage points he's had today. I'd say he is closing in on Austin Dillon, except for the fact Austin Dillon scored stage points too, so I guess maybe they're kind of staying even with each other. Lenny not quite able to get in front of Hamlin and Keselowski. Cleared the 11, could not clear the 2. Hesitated, pulling back up in front of Hamlin. He'll stay low, get around Keselowski through 3 and 4. May get around Bowman as well. He's definitely back inside the top 10. These fresher tires are paying off well for Ryan Blaney. Able to get right back in this race. Can't quite clear Elliott off turn 4. He'll slide in line right between the Hendrick Chevys, breaking them apart. Blocks Bowman further on the tri-oval. Side by side for the lead currently between Logano and Harvick. Busch thought about going 3 wide up the middle. He does not. Blaney to the outside of Elliott through 1 and 2. He doesn't want to be on the bottom this time. He wants to get the draft off the cars that are up ahead. Harvick leads on the backstretch. Logano still looking low. Kyle Busch going to side draft Logano into turn 3. Busch going up the middle, potentially 3 wide for the lead again, but can't quite get there. Harvick leads off turn 4. Logano cleared for second. Blaney can't quite get clear of the 18 of Kyle Busch. Larson going to give a bump draft now to Blaney. Blaney pulls up in front of him. Turns 1 and 2. Expect the check up into 3 and 4 this time. Is Blaney going to be able to make a pass for the lead? He's going to try to block Larson on the inside, making sure he could get down to the bottom like he wanted to. He does. He's going to pull underneath Harvick. Tire advantage working out for the 12 car, but he can't clear the 4. Slides in front of his teammate Logano. Logano going to pull out of line into turns 1 and 2. Harvick building that gap again. Blaney's going for it. Full throttle through 1 and 2. He'll stick it. Back to the inside of Harvick again, but can't clear him off the exit of the corner. Larson up to 3rd as he got by Logano that time through turns 1 and 2. Harvick as he lifts into 3. Blaney's definitely close enough to pass him now. New leader. And for the 3rd different time today, Ryan Blaney is out in front at Michigan. This time, for the first time in the final stage. Took 14 laps to go from the back to the front on fresh tires. Harvick's still there. He is not going away. Hang on. Into turns 3 and 4. Blaney was protecting the bottom. Harvick had the run up high all along. There's no rearview mirror. Otherwise, Blaney probably would have pulled up and tried to block the 4 car. He's definitely clear off turn 2. Harvick is going to look low. Blaney goes even lower. Swaying back and forth. Trying to keep the dirty air on the 4 as they enter into 3. Harvick has to lift. Blaney on 4 fresh tires and clean air will now be able to pull him again. The leaders can make it under 50 to go. I think they can make it to the end on fuel. They have a bit of a bigger fuel window than the 12 of Blaney does. Blaney's gone as far as 44 laps today at one point in time, and that was back at stage 2. $30 likes on the stream so far tonight. Hit that like button if you have not already. We've consistently had pretty much in the mid-30s up to over 50 viewers at one point in time during this stream tonight. And we have some of the leaders hitting pit road right now, which is going to be interesting. think Kyle Busch was one of the cars that just hit pit road. We may get a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops again. I would not doubt it. If we do, I think Blaney's got to consider pitting during the caution flag. So Kyle Busch definitely pit a lot earlier than the rest of the field. Hamlin pit that time by. I think Pearson's got the most wins at Michigan. I think he won 4 in a row there at one point in the 80s. Early 80s. Pearson or Yarborough, don't know which one. Yeah, it's definitely one of those two for sure. Not sure how long Blaney wants to stay on this racetrack for. Wasn't expecting the field to pit this early. So they're going to try a 2-stop strategy, because they did not pit during the stage break. Blaney can make it on 1 stop. Does he stay committed and pit at lap 40? Chase Elliott's still on the track yet. Harvick on fresher tires now. He's coming with a massive amount of steam into turns 1 and 2. Blaney's going to be able to stay in front of him in the middle of the corner. The longer he can hold Harvick back, the better for himself. Harvick's got almost 20 lap fresher tires on him. Blaney blocking Harvick on the back straightaway. It's going to be a little bit easier to block the 4 car because it's just one single car. Harvick stuck in the dirty air behind the 12 in the middle of 3 and 4. Harvick looks low off the exit of the corner. He's able to keep the car a lot lower off the exit. Now Blaney's going to try to draft behind him. Denny Hamlin. No, actually it's Keselowski. Closing in behind Hamlin's just coming out of the pits. So these cars right now are just getting their lap back. Definitely the time for Blaney to stay out of trouble. Remember, if he's involved in an accident, cannot pit for fuel or tires himself. 59 laps to go. He is going to stay committed to his 1-stop strategy in the final stage, which would mean it'd be 5 pit stops total in the race for him today. Actually, he stayed out during the stage 1 break, so it'd be a 4-stop strategy total for Ryan Blaney today. Both the Kyles of Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, got underneath Blaney through 1 and 2. Just going to have to pay close attention to the cars behind him. So they're going to have to make up the time they have now. It's 1 pit stop to the end of the race. They're going to have fresher tires for another 18 laps really, but then they're also going to have fresher tires at the very end of the race when they pit that final time as well. Probably with about 15-20 to go. Blaney will be able to make up some time back on the racetrack again whenever he decides to pit. He can go as far as 43 laps if he really wants to. No caution this time around, though. No, I know. I said it was the last driver, not the only driver. There's no flaw. Jeff Gordon was the most recent. most recent driver to win the championship and a Michigan Cup race in the same season. Austin Dillon in 7th place right now. Wants to put himself in contention to make the playoffs. He's having a solid points day today. Crucial with a guy like Buescher having a solid points day himself. Buescher 60 points below the cutoff line, so he may have to put himself in a must-win situation. He's been in the top 10 all day, and he's currently 9th. He's going to have to make up some ground with the field really spaced apart right now. Either that or hope for a caution. He's going to need to get his lap back before that caution comes out. I don't think Blaney's going to lose the lead before he pits. If he does, then that's problematic. That means he is likely not going to pace himself well enough to win this race. Good news is with clean air in front of him, he's able to run full throttle all the way around the track still. Even 26 laps into the fuel and tire stint. Timmy Hill in the 66, pulling up. Austin Dillon leading the charge with Buescher in 8th place now after passing Logano that last lap. I'm the last driver? Oh, yeah. Am I, though? Have I won Michigan in the champion? I probably have at some point. In the Cup Series in one of these games. Blaney's going to stay high. He's going to let these cars blow by him on the bottom. Logano way in there. Blaney's out of the gas. He's letting him through. He did not want to get ran over. He knew they were going to take it 3 wide to the inside, and he wanted no business of wrecking. Trying to keep the car clean to the end and trying to win this race off strategy to the finish. He had to get the track position somehow. Lenny, 12 to 15 laps away. The longer he can stay out now, the fresher the tires he'll have when he does pit. Three wide to the outside. Blaney having to hold a low line that time with Truex and Bowman rocketing in there. Bowman in 11. Truex is a lap down. Well, he was 2 down. Now he's 1 lap down in 16th. Enter cars are fading outside of Larson in the late going. I'm a grown man watching another grown man play a video game. When you put it like that, it sounds a little sad, doesn't it? We're all having fun, though. Blaney gonna stay low. Back straight away. He's going to let Elliott, Suarez, and Bubba get around him. Send the dirty air through 3 and 4, trying to hold full throttle that time. It's going to push the car a bit tight, but he keeps off the wall still. After Christopher Bell, it's going to be another big gap before any other lap cars catch him. Oh, Wallace, 3 wide up the middle. He is battling Suarez for position, for 26th at least. Bell on the outside. Blaney will let him go. Duck in line behind him. Try to get as much draft as he can on the backstretch before entering turn 3. El Gibberito. Welcome to the stream. Grandpa just farted and it stunk so bad. Well, hopefully you and whoever else is in that same room doesn't keel over. Blaney wins. This will be his 3rd win in a 4-race stretch. Be his top 10 of the season. Shot 57. Even if I wasn't streaming early today, I would have had no chance to play. It thunderstormed like right as I was leaving work. Well, it just got done raining when I left work. I didn't actually have to drive through, but it was pretty damp outside. Standing water. When he's staying down on the bottom lane to let Ross Chastain go. Yeah, fuel window will open ideally lap 37, coming to lap 38. Blaney wants to pit that early he can, but he's likely going to take it as far as he can as long as he has the lead. And then if he loses the lead, he's going to pit immediately. He's got another 10 laps he could go on fuel yet. Never know if a caution's going to come out. We've had 3 cautions per incident today, and if you count the stage breaks, we've had 5 cautions total. I realized Briscoe was still there. Stay out of his way. And he's staying extra wide through the corner. Kurt Busch is back to 31st. Austin Dillon's likely going to get back ahead of him in the point standings again. And with Kurt that far back in the running order and Buescher in the top 10, Buescher may not have to win at Daytona. I mean, he's still going to be below the cutoff line, but he can potentially knock that down probably 20 to 30 points below. I realized Kurt Busch is that far back in the running order. Cole Custer in the 41 car right behind him currently. Blaney on the inside will stay low. As he goes wide off turn 4, Kurt Busch will get underneath him off the exit of turn 4. Cole Custer will follow Kurt Busch in the tri-oval as well. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is the first car lap down at 14th now. Imagine if Kurt Busch doesn't even make the playoffs this season. 2004 Cup Series champion. 24 of Byron, back in 33rd. He's probably going to fall outside of the top 5 in the regular season standings. Terrible day for the 24, especially in comparison to the other 3 Hendrick Chevys. Got trapped 2 laps down because of the cautions coming out during green flag pit stops, once in stage 1, once in stage 2. Then there was another wreck a couple laps after the restart late in the stage 2 as well. No sign of the leaders yet. Haven't seen them popping up on the leaderboard up to this point. And he's got about 7 more laps of fuel left in the tank. The hope is that there isn't going to be a late caution in this race, so especially after everybody else cycles through the second stop. Because that means Blaney's going to have to either make a decision, stay out, restart the lead on old tires, or pit. They go towards the back on fresh tires again, but it took him 15 laps to get to the front. He may not have that much time left in the race. Plus, if cautions breed cautions late, like it did in stage 2, that could be problematic also. Nobody in the vicinity behind the 12 car right now. Lap 40. 3 more laps, and Blaney could pit. Definitely going to be a 4-tire stop. Just pit in case I run out of fuel. I know I can make it 43 laps because I made it 44 laps in stage 2. Well, between the end of stage 1 into stage 2. I went 44 green flag laps. That's with the stage break in there also. So I'll go to 43. I won't push it to 44 again, but I'll go to 43. I think I could just see the leaders getting off of turn 2 a couple seconds before Blaney got into turn 3. I think they're right behind the 3 cars that are on the leaderboard, but the bottom of it below where you see Blaney on the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Really tight through 1 and 2. He is way out of the throttle. I think he flatlined the entry a little too much. He couldn't hold as much on throttle time. That go around there are all packed together too. They're hauling the mail. About 5 or 6 of them in a single file pack have gotten bunched back together again. Blaney gonna stay out this time by. May go one more. Went 44 earlier. We'll try to go 44 again. He's still got a pretty decent sized lead. And the longer he stays out, the better. Everybody has to make one more stop yet to the finish. So Blaney will stay out this time. He will remain on the lead lap. Oh no! He did run dry. Blaney's out of gas. And he's going to have to limp his way back around the racetrack. Oh, this is terrible. He just lost the lead. He's going to have to make up as much time as he can now. He's got to go all the way back through turns 3 and 4 yet. He went 44 laps earlier in the race, but he did not go 44 there, and I wonder if it's because he didn't have any drafting help since he took the lead back on lap 14. And this is heavily problematic for Ryan Blaney. Trying to limp the car to pit road. I don't even know if he's going to make it. Caution! Caution's out! Oh my goodness. Caution is out. Unbelievable timing there for Ryan Blaney, the 6th of the race. He's going to be able to pit And he has gotten saved. Big time. Because I don't know if he was even going to make it to the pits. Wow. So Blaney is on pit road for 4 tires and fuel, his final stop of the day. I think he was on the lead lap. I think. If not, nobody else is pitting. Well, there are a couple cars pitting. There are a few cars hitting pit road. He is not the only one in. Oh boy. And Kyle Busch just hit pit road. Green flag back in the air. Blaney did not take off all the restart. I thought I lost the race. Oh no, he is a lap down. Yeah, so Blaney lost his lap. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, contact with Busch. Yeah, I didn't even think about the draft saving fuel. Blaney's got to get through this field as fast as he can. He has scored 1 lap down right now in 14th. A large portion of the field still has to pit except for Kyle Busch. Busch is good to the end. He pitted during that caution. Blaney is going for risky business on the outside. 3 wide, off turn 2, kept it off the wall. They're bottlenecking down low. Oh, Jones squeezes Blaney 4 wide to the outside into turns 3 and 4. I don't know how that hole opened up for him up there, but it did. Blaney's got to stay in front of Busch because Busch is on the lead lap too. And we'll see if we get another caution that can bail the 12 car out, but he has to get his lap back first. Blocks Bubba Wallace to the inside into turns 1 and 2. Little contact with Gase. It did not wreck. Big stack up into turns 3 and 4. Blaney is definitely going to cycle up to 2nd place. Once the rest of the field pits, we've seen cautions in the middle of green flag pit stops a couple times. This might play into Kyle Busch's hands. Probably the best. If it stays green to the end, it's Kyle Busch's race to lose. Blaney getting a little draft off Denny Hamlin on the bottom, who's getting freight trained right now with the cars above him. Blaney stays low. Hamlin went up to block Buescher, checking him up into turns 3 and 4 a bit. Blaney on the 4 fresh Goodyears trying to get his lap back. He's up to 12. So there are 11 cars on the lead lap. Busch would be the last of them. Kyle Busch on fresher tires. Blaney blocking Keselowski. Austin Dillon battling for the lead. If he gets a timely caution, then Austin Dillon may have a shot. 3 wide on the bottom goes Blaney. Side by side with the leader, Kyle Larson. Harvick going down the side draft Blaney. Blaney gets away from him. Dillon going down to get a draft behind the 12th car on the bottom. Pulls back to the outside behind Harvick. Blaney back on the lead lap. Now, the hope is that we get one more caution before the end of this race. Yeah, lucky he got one, but he was trapped a lap down with it. If the caution didn't come out, he probably would have finished at the back of the pack. It's going to be tough to pull away, though. A giant pack behind him. Logano battles on the inside of Larson. Larson looking for desperate playoff points, still winless this season, even though he has 7 stage wins and he's in the top 5 in the regular season standings. We'll get a decent amount of playoff points off of that alone, but 5 more with a win would be huge. He already has a stage win today. Him and Denny Hamlin won the stages. 24 laps to go at the line. I don't know where Kyle Busch is in that mess, but I'm sure he's getting his way through. When will the rest of the field pit? Pitted around lap 20. So they may be able to take it even with that caution to less than 15 laps to go. So it's probably going to be a little bit before the field pits. Really going to be interesting to see how exactly this is going to finish out. Caution came out. I ran out of fuel. I stayed out of lap too long. And when I was coasting it back around to pit road, I lost a lap. And then the caution came out right after I lost the lap. But if the caution didn't come out at all, then I would have been dead in the water. Even if I would have made it back to pit road, I would have had that first box, so I definitely would have made it in. But I would have lost probably another lap or two before I got back around. I was in the middle of 3 and 4 when the caution came out. Probably would have lost another lap if I would have had to imagine. Until NASCAR wrecked on the first lap. Drive a real pace. Oh, race car, not pace car. I've seen debris. I think I see debris on the racetrack. Debris. Well, might as well alternate to the different camera angles one final time. If it wasn't for the drafting effect on the straightaways at this track, and with this 550 package, I think Blaney'd be pulling away much more than what he already is. Considering he has about 20 lap fresher tires. Blaney's not going to cycle that far ahead of these guys though, and they're going to obviously have fresher tires to try and run the 12 car back down again. So even though he'll cycle to second, no guarantee that he's exactly going to stay there. Yeah, I definitely should have stayed by my original calculations at 40 to 43 laps, because we made it 43, tried to go for that 44, that's where I ran out. I only made it that far earlier in the race on a green flag stint because I had drafting help the entire run. Well, we know Blaney's plenty good to the end now, so he doesn't have to go as long on fuel as what he went at the start of this stage. He didn't have any drafting help before, and he had a little bit on the restart, but obviously doesn't have any right now, and he's 100% throttle all the way around this 2-mile racetrack. Santiago kid, you were right. I definitely owe you an apology. I feel like 9 times out of 10 I know what I'm doing, but that 10% of the time I don't know what I'm doing. In that kind of instant right there, it just kind of slipped out of my brain. I didn't think the drafting effect was going to save us that much more fuel. That's what happens when you try to risk it, especially in the middle of the race. One thing to risk it at the end. Race is not completely ruined though. Haven't seen any of the leaders pit yet. I wonder if there are maybe any of them down Trying to see where Kyle Busch may be on the leaderboard if I see him at all. Let's go going wild up there in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Well, I don't listen to the crew chief in this game. We don't know that Blaney necessarily would have won the race on his other strategy, but I think he was pacing well enough that he probably would have if it would have stayed green. But because we ended up seeing a caution anyway, he would have pit. He would be able to make it to the end. He wouldn't have lost a lap because of his lead. So he would probably be in the lead right now and then just racing Kyle Busch to the finish if it stayed green. But either way, if there's a caution, another caution before the end of the race, then everything that has happened between now and then goes out the window. And the reason why I say that is, well, some cars just pit that time because Blaney's up to 9th. So we are in the middle of the final pit stops of the night. Austin Dillon has taken the lead for, I believe, the first time today, even though he has challenged throughout the course of today's race. We're back to the far chase cam for the remainder of this one. This time by the start-finish line, 15 laps to go. Blaney will cycle ahead of the field. That is on pit road. He'll pick up another spot for now, up to 8th. But I think if you're Ryan Blaney, you have to pit if a caution comes out, because he is not going to be able to hold the field off on a late race restart on his old tires. Kyle Busch, I'd have to imagine, is going to stay out. So, I mean, there may be a pit car in play, but there's just too many other cars in there, and knowing how the draft has worked on the straightaways all day today, I just think that Blaney would be a sitting duck. Kevin Harvick's in 9th place, a few seconds behind the 12 car currently. They need a 7th now. So 5 more cars still have to pit. Blaney's the lucky dog. No, we're on the lead lap right now. The lucky dog does not work in this game either, but we unlapped ourselves on the restart with fresher tires. But Kyle Busch, I believe Busch pitted. I could be wrong, but I think Kyle Busch pitted, considering he restarted behind us on that last restart, and he was on the lead lap. Blaney up to 4th. Less than 2 seconds ahead of Harvick already, though. And Kyle Busch leads. He's good on fuel to the end. Harvick is quickly running down the 12 car. Blaney's going to have no chance to hold these guys back on fresher tires behind him. He's going to do the best he can. There's still 12 laps to go. And he is... Caution's out! Oh my goodness, another one! Caution is out again. As Blaney just got to 2nd place right as the yellow flag waved with 12 laps to go. Our 2nd yellow of the final stage, and this is going to be our 5th yellow for incident, which means it's the 7th caution total with the stage breaks. This is unbelievable. The luck that went bad for Blaney has quickly turned around. He can take 4 tires now, but he is going to have to restart towards the tail end of the field, and there is not going to be many laps to go. So this is the only hope. He's going to give up track position for tires and hope that he has enough laps to get up to the front. It's not going to be that much fresher than a lot of the cars that have already pitted, but there'll be a few lap fresher tires. He's hoping it gets very racy on the restart ahead of him. There are a lot of cars on pit road right now, too. Yeah, that's true. That with Kyle Busch on the lead lap, too, that trapped, because he didn't pit, that's trapped a lot of cars a lap down, because Blaney's going to restart at 5th now, so he's guaranteed a top 5 because of the caution coming out, even if he doesn't get to the front. He hasn't been taking off well in the restarts all day today. We only have 6 laps to go when we went green. Blaney guaranteed a top 5. He's going for broke. Major checking up going on right now off turn 4. Can Kyle Busch hold on at the very front of the field to win this race? 3 by 3 on the front stretch towards the back of the pack right now. 3 wide up there for about 3rd. Stacking up high again. They're probably going to check up into turns 3 and 4. I don't know how many more cars Blaney could get around here. He doesn't have any drafting help. Michael McDowell squeezes Kurt Busch. A little contact there. Into turns 3 and 4. Quinn Houff down to the apron. That's going to block the 12 car off a little bit more. Blaney gets underneath him off turn 4. 3 laps to go at the line. Caution comes out again. We go to overtime. If we get to the white flag, the next flag will end the race, whether it's the caution or the checker. You'd have to assume the leaders are in that very lead pack up at the front. And he's got to get high while he can. He will. Still in 5th. He's definitely going to be way quicker than Kyle Busch wherever he's at. He can get around Busch before the end of this race. Long ways back into turns 3 and 4. 3 wide off turn 4, down on the bottom right now. And I think Kyle Busch is in this accordion line in the tri-oval. And he blocks BJ McLeod. Sorry, now we have 3 laps to go. Miscounted my laps there for a little bit. 3 wide to the bottom through 1 and 2 for Blaney. Gets around Reddick. Busch still leading the way up here. He'll hop in line on the back straightaway behind Chase Elliott. Yeah, Kyle Busch was definitely holding those guys up. Blaney to 4th through 3 and 4. 2 laps to go for the leaders at the line. Blaney's not going to have a shot to catch anybody else unless we get a caution before the leaders take the white flag this time around. Blaney will get the clean air, passing the 10 car, who was a lap down. Austin Dillon still hanging on to a top 10 position currently. Final lap, white flag in the air, 1 lap to go. I have not seen who the leader is yet through all of this. Well, it's going to be a solid top 5 for Ryan Blaney at least. 10 top 5 of the season. Kevin Harvick's in 3rd. Into turns 3 and 4. And checkered flag in the air. Ryan Blaney is going to end up finishing in the 4th place position. And Alex Bowman is going to pick up his first win of the season. He would have been locked into the playoffs anyway today, as long as we didn't get a winner below the cutoff line. He would have locked in on points, but a win will secure him the spot. He is now the 13th different winner in the first 25 races this season. Chris Buescher, who likely needs to win, finishes 2nd. What a close effort from Buescher, but with Kurt Busch having a terrible day today, he's going to close that gap quite a bit on him for that final spot on points. And only the top 5 are going to finish on the lead lap. If I would have recognized and realized that Kyle Busch would have had quite a few cars a lap down with that caution, which I should have known that that was the case. I might have considered staying out because I think I would have beaten Busch either way, and that probably would have been the best shot to win because there was no caution there at the end. And Blaney pretty much had equal tires with everybody that just pitted, so he was never going to get past everybody to win. Now, ideally, if the game was scoring accurate, I would have restarted on those tires in row 3 and 5th, but I didn't. I restarted at the tail of the field, but I also knew that that was going to happen. So, in hindsight, I would have wished I would have stayed out of the pits and restarted in the lead. Well, I would have restarted second. Busch would have been in the lead. It would have been Kyle Busch inside row 1. I would have been outside row 1. And there would have been 6 laps I would have had to try to hold on for. Kyle Busch couldn't hang on, though, so I probably would have been right there with him at the end anyway. But at least I could have put the race in my hands instead of in everybody else's hands. But all things considered, to get a top 5 after what happened today, I'll take it. But Bowman will get the win. Chris Buescher second. Kevin Harvick third. Ryan Blaney fourth. Kyle Busch rounds out the top 5 today. Kyle Larson, who ended up winning Stage 2, finished 6th. Hamlin, who won Stage 1, finished 7th. Joey Logano finishes 8th, and I believe with that 8th place finish, Joey Logano has clinched the regular season championship one race early today at Michigan, so that will give him 15 additional playoff points heading in to the playoffs in a couple races. Austin Dillon finishes 9th, came into this race final driver above the cutoff line. He'll move ahead of Kurt Busch with ease, and I don't think he would have locked himself in because he's not that far ahead of Kurt Busch, but he is ahead of him enough to be 15th on the grid, and if he could stay in front of Kurt Busch, that means even if we get a winner below the cutoff line in the final race at Daytona, and obviously stays enough points above the cutoff line on Buescher, who is probably going to be the first driver below now, then he'll make it. Matt DiBenedetto rounds out the top 10. Solid run for him today, but he's in a must-win situation anyway. Finished second at the end of Stage 1. He kind of fell off in the late going. So I am going to take a picture of the results here, and that's going to end the stream because I can't really show you guys the point standings right now. Obviously, you've seen them at the top of the screen coming into the night, so kind of visualize, mentally at least, about where everybody could shake up following this race going into Daytona on Friday night. NASCAR 06 Total Team Control will return again tomorrow night. A Cup Series Do It For Dale race, trying to get Dale Earnhardt Jr. his first career NASCAR Cup Series championship, and we'll see if we can win at the Magic Mile at New Hampshire. That's where the Cup Series is racing in real life this weekend, so coincidentally we will be racing there tomorrow as well. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Start Time will be the start of the stream, and I will see you guys then. Have a good rest of your Wednesday night. Enjoy, everybody.